For nearly 3 years, our administration has been working tirelessly to build an unrivaled ecosystem of innovation and economic growth in Maryland. We're proud to be home of America's most educated workforce, with the highest concentration of doctoral scientists and engineers in the nation, and the second highest concentration of IT companies of any state. We're third in the nation for research and development intensity, and second among all 50 states in the concentration of STEM employment. Maryland is the cyber capital of America. We're home to more than 70 federal laboratories, 12,000 IT companies, and 1,200 private sector cybersecurity companies. Over the last 3 years, we've tried to create an economic resurgence in our state. We had the best year for business in Maryland in 15 years, the best year for job growth in Maryland in a decade. We went from losing 100,000 jobs to gaining more than 130,000 jobs, lowered our unemployment to 3.8%. This is the second lowest, it's the lowest that unemployment rate has been in Maryland in a decade, and it's the second fastest private sector job growth in America. We were recently named the most innovative state in the United States. So Maryland truly is open for business. And as we continue to fuel our state's innovative economy, it is our goal to make sure that Marylanders have the tools and the skills that they need to compete for these 21st century jobs. When it comes to the booming field of computer science, companies in our state have often expressed that they can't find the workers they need with the necessary skills and training. There are currently nearly 20,000 job openings for high-paying IT-related jobs in Maryland, which is 4 times the average demand rate nationally. Over the next decade, IT-related jobs in Maryland are projected to grow by another 12%. The U.S. Department of Labor projects that by 2020, there will be 1.4 million computer specialist job openings in the United States. Our universities and colleges are currently projected to produce qualified graduates to fill only 29% of these jobs. And we are seeing a shocking lack of gender diversity in this growing sector. In 2015, only 20% of computer science graduates in Maryland were female. Of Maryland students who took the AP computer science exam, less than 1/4 were female. Based on current trends, women will hold only 1 in 5 of these jobs of the future in America by the year 2025. Women make up 40% of the American workforce, but are on track to fill just 3% of these new tech jobs. At a time when companies across the country are desperately in need of a skilled computing workforce, more than half of the population could be left behind. Our Lieutenant Governor, Boyd Rutherford, has been named as the honorary chair for the Maryland chapter of the Million Women Mentors, which is dedicated to increasing the percentage of young women pursuing STEM degrees and careers. The group recently met its aggressive goal of recruiting 5,000 people to be mentors to these young women, and has set a new goal of securing 10,000 mentors by the end of this year. The growing computing skills shortage across the country threatens to cause higher wage costs, project delays, and more time and money spent searching for and training qualified employees. In Maryland, this could impact the ability of our businesses to innovate and to bring new projects and products and services to the market quickly. It could also jeopardize our competitiveness in the national and global markets. Companies routinely cite access to skilled talent as a key reason for choosing where they locate. And in this rapidly evolving job landscape, the states who have access to highly trained workforce will have a major advantage. Maryland simply must continue to lead the way, and closing the skills gap begins with a focus on education. We must spark the interest of students, particularly girls, beginning at an even younger age. And we must inspire high school and college students to pursue careers in computer science by reframing computer curriculums. In our continuing efforts to address this growing issue, today I am pleased to announce our administration's Access Initiative, which stands for Achieving Computer Science Collaborations for Employing Students Statewide. Just a few moments ago, I signed an executive order directing the Task Force on Cybersecurity and Information Technology, which is a part of the Governor's Workforce Development Board, some of whom are represented here with us today. They will be charged with studying opportunities to grow the sector of Maryland's economy associated with computer science and the IT industry. They will focus on developing pathways to meet identified workforce needs in computing fields. The task force will also address the skills needed and the challenges facing Maryland's talent pipeline and encourage our employer partners to invest in Maryland's IT workforce. In addition, the task force will be asked to create innovative, sustainable ways to promote gender and minority equity in the STEM and IT workforce. Their findings will culminate in a final report, which is due to be delivered to me by June. This morning, we are also announcing that we will invest an additional $5 million to fund teacher training and professional development in the computer sciences, and we will provide grants to local education agencies and individual schools for professional learning models and equipment. Third, in the upcoming legislative session, we will be submitting legislation to implement computer science standards across the state for students from kindergarten through 12th grade. These standards will include goals of the computer science curricula, strategies for accomplishing these goals, and a timeline to carry out these new strategies. We will collaborate with computer science education stakeholders, including teachers and representatives from higher education, the computer science industry, and Maryland computer science organizations. And finally, I'm pleased to announce that Maryland will be partnering with Girls Who Code for the first ever in the nation Governor's Girls Who Code Clubs Challenge. I first learned about and met with Girls Who Code in July when I attended their hackathon at the National Governors Association Conference in Rhode Island. This national nonprofit group is working hard to close the gender gap in technology by offering free after-school programs for 6th through 12th grade girls to teach them the concepts of loops, variables, conditionals, and functions, which form the basis for all programming languages. I should probably take that course because but whether they want to build a website, an app, or a robot, there are currently 23 clubs all across the state, and with our Governor's Clubs Challenge, we will identify key connections within Maryland to help us build even more clubs. And after the Club Challenge concludes, the students will be presenting their projects directly to me right here in this Governor's reception room. Maryland was recently named #1 in America for innovation. And with the exciting access initiatives that we're launching today, together we will ensure that the next generation of young Marylanders will have the skills that are necessary to lead, to innovate, and to be at the cutting edge of technology and the jobs of the future.